I butchered your walk-on music, so I wanted to give you a moment there for the walk-off music, you know? All right. Give him a round of applause. All right. Well, we have a few minutes to do some Q&A. Whenever a speaker talks who has all of us have a lot of stories, right? You feel like, oh, how are you going to get that all in 20 minutes? Well, we have Q&A. So if you missed anything, glazed over it too quick, you want to ask Benjamin a question about his creative journey, any of his projects or anything like that, I realize we don't have a mic to pass around, so we'll have you talk loudly or stand up and, make sure that everybody in the room can hear you. So who has a question for Benjamin?
I'm curious how your transition a teaching role looked, like if you were seeking out something different or if you were recruited.
It's a good question. I think for me, it's always been about relationships and personal relationships on the journey. I think a lot of the opportunities that came along were almost through conversation with friends or places I was curious about exploring. And I think I certainly don't have the pedigree on paper to do any of the things that you just saw. So it was never, I don't know if I've ever formally applied for a job in my life. It's been through personal connection. It's been through friendship. It's been through sort of that community, frankly. Yeah. Yes.
Two questions. Can you talk about why you decided to start your coffee company, the inspiration for that? And I'm interested in hearing more about some of the setbacks you've experienced along your journey.
Yeah. Sure. Coffee, so I think kind of in the beginning of the presentation was talking about how much Minneapolis meant to me. Just as a creative person, coming back here, I wanted to be able to cultivate that community again. It was never really about, I love coffee, and I weirdly fell in love with it in the pandemic, and I always went to the coffee shop in the morning and got my fancy coffee, and then everything shut down, and I was like, great, I'll just make it at home, I'll buy some nice beans, and it tasted like shit. And so I was like, wait, how does this work? And you start peeling back the layers of country of origin and grind size and brewing temperature and method of brew and all these things. And I got really obsessed with coffee. And then learned to roast whatever. So when we came back, I wanted a vehicle to bring the creative community back together, and did it through coffee. And it's always kind of been a Trojan horse, if you will, for me on just hanging out with my friends and doing fun stuff. It's great we have fun partnerships with a lot of coffee shops in town, but the things for me that have always been exciting are we do a lot of events, or we threw a book fair and brought people out and flew in friends to have conversations, and we heard from some incredible photographers and creatives, and that's why I did coffee, because I think it's so fun to be in rooms like this and inspire each other and just share and have conversation. And again, Minneapolis is so supportive. It's like build it and they will come, and that's what we did, and that's why we did coffee. And on setbacks, I'm trying to pinpoint a specific one. I feel like there's always a setback. I don't know. I feel like life takes different twists and turns. I get really excited about opportunities, and maybe sometimes don't think about all of the things that come along with it, or moving from one coast to the other and adjusting to a new space, or trying to fit in an organization, or I don't know, navigate the spaces. Sometimes those feel like setbacks or like hurdles to climb. But again, I think that personal connection, personal relationship, being open, being able to ask questions, being honest. If I don't know something, I'm just going to ask. I'm not going to pretend that I know what's going on. And those things kind of get me through those hurdles quicker. Yeah. Anyone else over there?
You said you have 3 kids?
Yes.
We talked just about how you've been able to balance the daily grind of having kids with creative pursuits and things that.
Yes. My answer is short and clear, and it's my wife. She's incredible. But I think her and I have been together for a really long time, and I've always been doing this stuff and traveling around, and I think when it came time to have a family, we knew that these things would kind of still be there. So there's a real support system, which I'm really, really grateful for. And then also, too, I just try to set things that feel consistent for my kids. Or I might be in Timbuktu one day, but I got to take the kids to dance on Friday at 9 a.m. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I'll get on the red eye, and I'll come home, and I'll be there to take them to dance. So they know nothing. They know none of this. That's nothing to them. It's like, was Dad there? Did he show up? And I think trying to put them first and forward in all of that, which usually means some uncomfortable situations for me, but it's just kind of what I got to do. Yeah. Thanks. One person likes strong fathers. Come on. Shout out to you, Daniel.
You've been at the crossroads of so many rich cultural hubs around the world, and now you're back here in Minneapolis. What would you like to see more of here that could be integrated from your other places that you've lived?
That's a great question, Danny. What I want to see more of in Minneapolis is us believing in ourselves and trying new things, not feeling like we're second class because we're not on a coast, and just trying and giving a shit. I think so many folks have great intentions, but it's that sort of 0 to 1 to actually like building it and doing it that's really tough. And I think Minnesota is incredible, and we came back because there's family and it's very comfortable, and so often we can get stuck in that loop of comfortability, or kind of letting some of those dreams die because we're comfortable and maybe somebody else will do it. But I think I don't know, just doing it, trying it, I would love to see more of. And I think it's been incredible to watch the journey of Minneapolis. World-class food, everybody knows the Walker, and the art scene is incredible. I feel like the more we can dig into that, I think I'm always really inspired by, well, Chris Pennington in many ways, but the soap factory and sort of these spaces that have existed in Minneapolis in the past, and these sort of weird exchanges of ideas and art and just trying weird shit. And I would love to see that again, and a space where that happens. Yes, over there. Sure. Yeah. I think anytime you're in that sort of big corporate structure, there's a lot of stuff to navigate. I think that's where, again, that sort of be a sponge, understanding how the space works. I think oftentimes when we go into those places or big corporations, like, oh, we're going to change this, it's going to be great. Sometimes it's better just understand how it works and figure out how you can navigate around it. I think from a Nike perspective, there was also, at least the time that I was there, a lot of leadership that believed in sort of trying new things as well. So we kind of were able to get some space to explore and bring people into the company and the brand that people didn't necessarily know in the organization, but there was a level of trust that I think went a long way. And so building that trust with your leaders, finding those incredible stories, and kind of figuring out the weird ways to navigate pushing it through, because it's not a easy sort of singular track. You kind of have to bob and weave and zig and zag to get it done. But you gotta, if you're the person trying to disrupt the space, you just have to hold tight to that initial idea and that disruption, because you will be met with challenges, you'll be met with opposition. But if there's a simple idea that you can continue to push forward, you just got to be a dog on a bone. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I graduated high school in 2007. So it's kind of like mid-2000s emo. It's great. What a wonderful time of music. Yeah. It was 2007 to like 2010, 2011. Yeah. Mom. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great question. My mother will be happy to tell you it was nothing, which is funny too. Actually, there was so many times where I was like, we're on tour, and I'm like, Mom, can you just like put $40 in my account? I'm trying to like eat Burger King for the next 4 days. But no, it was again. I think we were 17 and stupid, and we wanted big production, and we wanted to hire guitar techs and tour managers, and then you get home and you're like, oh, everybody else got something, which is maybe a good frame of reference for that space. And I don't know, trying to be smart about your end goal for sure, because we didn't have one. Anyone else? Yeah, over here.
Then you talk about music.
Michael, what's up, bro? Good to see you.
You talk about music being your sort of dream, your through line, but you've done other things like the art event you did at the Glass House, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Like vibe, you also mentioned vibe. Where does the vibe take you? Like where else besides music and art do you see you going?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like all of those creative spaces are exciting to me. I love printed matter and books in this sort of weird time that we're in. The tactile things we can sort of touch and feel are really exciting to me, and I think it's been funny too watching, being in the world of like sneakers and hype, and kids wanting Jordans to now wanting an art book for their coffee table as like a cultural signifier. I think is cool. Industrial design, chairs, furniture. I think all that space is really, really exciting, and there's so much overlap, right? It's all creative ideas, and sometimes you execute them through music, or sometimes you execute it through architecture. I just think all those things are exciting. So there's no stone left unturned for me creatively. Yeah.
2 questions. One, to piggyback on the Minneapolis question, will you run for mayor?
No. No. That's my short answer.
Can you talk about stepping out of your comfort zone and ways you've leaned into that?
Yeah, 100%. I think I'm trying to think about how far back to take this for you, but I think the comfort zone thing is interesting because I don't think I ever feel comfortable in those spaces, which I don't know, to do what you will with it, but there's maybe a weird brazen confidence of like, yeah, we'll figure it out, but I never feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable here now. I didn't feel comfortable on any of those photo shoots, but it's like, okay, we have the dream. This is what we have to do. It's almost this, I don't know, trying to just move past the emotional response to something that feels scary or new, to see what's on the other side. And 9 times out of 10, it's always been incredible. Yeah. Over there. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. We this was I think 2 months ago now. We did an art book fair that the coffee company put on, and really for me it was modeled after like Printed Matter in New York or the LA County Book Fair that they do at LACMA, which have become these incredible sort of cultural hubs for creative people. And again, talking about objects of design that people are sort of interested in now, they kind of become these incredible melting pots of all sort of bits and pieces. So I kind of wanted to replicate that here, and it was so much fun. By the way, we did 3 days over at the Glass House, and we had sort of one section was all these incredible publishers and folks from all over the country. We did an art installation with my dear friend Erin Springer and showed a new film of hers in the back, and then we hosted a series of conversations. In another room, which was so fun, we had Alex Soth and Sabia Simon and Brad Zeller and one, and then I brought in some friends, my buddy AJ Gerard, who's a curator in LA, my friend Bobby Carter, who hosts NPR Tiny Desk, Amanda from The Walker. Just tried to make this space of like creative exchange and great ideas, and it was really fun. We are going to do it again, by the way, in the fall, I think. So, yeah. Drew, what do we got? One more? Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, good question. For me, I think lots of people do it differently. If you're very studious, which I've never been, you can read a lot, you can pick up on a lot. I think for me, it's like traveling has always been the unlock, and seeing new spaces, seeing new faces, seeing how people do things in Paris or LA or Tokyo, and sort of always being curious, like, oh, that's a cool thing, or maybe I like this brand. Okay, who designed it? Where's the store? What's their story? Just always trying to uncover those bits and pieces, and sort of in the levels of that, sort of peeling back the onion, if you will, is where you start to kind of develop what you think is cool and interesting. But again, for me, it's all like lived experience is mostly, how the palette develops, if you will. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you, my brother.